If you are an Aquarius who has ever wondered why love seems to demand that you shrink yourself, this message is about to change the way you see your own heart forever. The standard you carry inside you is not a wall. It is not a defense mechanism. It is not something broken that needs to be fixed. That standard is the most powerful form of self-protection your spirit has ever created. And today we are going to explore exactly why it exists, what it means, and how it is quietly shaping the most important love story of your life. Because here is the truth that most people will never tell you. Aquarius does not struggle in love because they are cold. Aquarius does not keep distance because they do not care. The reason love feels complicated for you is because you feel everything so deeply that your soul built an invisible filter, a standard, that only lets in what is truly worthy of your energy. And that is not a flaw. That is wisdom. Most people move through relationships reacting to loneliness, reacting to pressure, reacting to what everyone else says they should want. But you have always operated differently. You wait. You observe. You measure the weight of someone's words against the truth of their actions. And when those two things do not match, you already know the answer before anyone else in the room. That is your gift. And today we are going to honor it. Stay with me through every single section of this message because what is coming will not only validate what you have always felt, it will give you the clarity and the courage to finally trust it completely. Tip 1. Your standard is not about perfection. It is about alignment. And that difference changes everything. So many Aquarius souls walk through life believing that their expectations in love are too high. You have probably heard it before. Someone tells you that you are too picky, that you expect too much, that you need to be more flexible. And maybe for a moment you believed them. Maybe you even tried to lower your bar just to see what would happen. But deep down, you always knew the truth. Your standard was never about finding someone perfect. It was always about finding someone who is aligned with who you really are. There is a massive difference between those two things, and understanding that difference is the first step to unlocking the kind of love that actually lasts. Perfection is an illusion. It is a checklist that no human being could ever fully satisfy. But alignment is something you can feel in your bones. It is when someone's energy matches yours. It is when their values walk in the same direction as your own. It is when you do not have to perform or pretend or edit yourself down to fit into their version of what a partner should be. Alignment is when you can breathe. And Aquarius, your entire nervous system is designed to detect alignment. You feel it the moment you walk into a room. You feel it in the way someone speaks, the way they listen, the way they respond when you share something vulnerable. Your body knows before your mind catches up. That instinct is not paranoia. That instinct is not you being difficult. That instinct is the deepest part of you doing its job, protecting you from connections that would drain you instead of nourish you. Think about the times in your life when you ignored that feeling. Think about the relationships where you told yourself to relax, to stop overthinking, to just go with the flow. How did those end? If you are being honest with yourself, they ended exactly the way your gut told you they would. Because your standard is not random. It is not arbitrary. It is built from every lesson you have ever learned, every heartbreak you have ever survived, every moment where you gave more than you received and promised yourself you would never do it again. That standard is a living thing. It grows with you. It evolves as you evolve. And the more you honor it, the sharper it becomes. The people who tell you to lower your expectations are often the ones who have already settled in their own lives. They have made peace with mediocrity, and your refusal to do the same makes them uncomfortable. But that is their journey, not yours. Your path has always been different. You were never meant to follow the crowd when it comes to love. You were meant to wait for the connection that makes your whole soul exhale. And that is not being picky. That is being wise. When you stop apologizing for your standards and start seeing them as the compass they truly are, everything shifts. You stop chasing. You stop begging. You stop trying to convince someone to see your worth. Instead, you stand firmly in your own energy and you let the right person find you. Because they will. The kind of love that is meant for you does not require you to shrink. It requires you to expand. And your standard is the thing that keeps you expanding in the right direction. But there is a hidden layer to this that most Aquarius souls completely miss, and that is exactly what we are going to uncover next. Tip 2. The loneliness you sometimes feel is not a sign that your standards are wrong. It is proof that you are brave enough to wait for what is real. Let me be very direct with you right now because this is something that needs to be said clearly. There will be nights when the silence in your life feels unbearable. There will be moments when you see other people wrapped up in their relationships, and you wonder if maybe you made the wrong choice by holding out for something deeper. There will be seasons where the loneliness sits on your chest like a weight, and you question everything you believe about love. And in those moments, the temptation to lower your standard will feel almost irresistible. But here is what I need you to understand. That loneliness is not punishment. It is not the universe telling you that you are too much or that you want too much. That loneliness is the natural cost of courage. Because it takes real courage to stand in the middle of a world that tells you to settle and say, no, I will wait. Most people cannot do it. Most people fold under the pressure of being alone. They grab the first hand that reaches out, not because it is the right hand, but because it is there. And then 5 years later, they are sitting in a relationship that looks fine on the outside but feels hollow on the inside, wondering where they went wrong. You have seen this happen. You may have even lived it before. And that experience is precisely what built the standard you carry today. Every moment of loneliness you have endured has strengthened something inside you. It has deepened your capacity to recognize what is real versus what is convenient. It has sharpened your ability to distinguish between someone who wants you and someone who simply does not want to be alone. Those are two very different things, and most people never learn to tell them apart. But you can. You always could. The loneliness is not your enemy, Aquarius. It is your teacher. It is the space between chapters where you gather your strength, refine your vision, and prepare for the love that is actually worth your time. And that love is not theoretical. It is not some distant dream that you will never reach. It is the inevitable result of a person who refuses to accept less than they deserve. Every great love story in human history began with someone who was brave enough to wait. Not passively, not sitting in a dark room hoping someone would knock on the door, but actively, building themselves, strengthening their own foundation, becoming the kind of person who would attract the kind of love they longed for. That is what you are doing right now, even if it does not feel like it. Every day that you choose your standard over convenience, you are sending a message to the universe. You are saying, I trust the timing of my life. I trust that what is meant for me will not pass me by. I trust that the right love will arrive when I am truly ready for it. And the universe hears that message. It always does. So the next time loneliness knocks on your door, do not let it shake your foundation. Sit with it. Acknowledge it. Let it remind you of why you are waiting. And then let it pass because it always does. What stays is the strength. What stays is the clarity. What stays is the unshakable knowing that you are on the right path. And the next piece of this puzzle is going to show you exactly how to use that strength in your daily life. If what you're hearing feels accurate, imagine what could happen if you applied this energy intentionally for 21 consecutive days. That's exactly what the 21-day program in the pinned comment is built for. Daily guidance, focused direction, and real momentum. If you're tired of staying in the same cycle, this is your structure. Tip 3. You do not owe anyone access to your energy. Learning to protect it without guilt is one of the most important things you will ever do. This is a lesson that Aquarius learns slowly but never forgets. Your energy is not unlimited. Your emotional bandwidth is not a public resource. And the people who make you feel guilty for protecting those things are almost always the ones who benefit most from your openness. Let me explain what I mean. Aquarius has a natural generosity of spirit that is rare in this world. When you love someone, you give them access to parts of yourself that most people will never see. You share your thoughts, your fears, your dreams, your quiet moments. You let people into rooms that you keep locked for everyone else. And that is a beautiful thing. But it is also a dangerous thing when it is given to the wrong person. Because the wrong person does not see your openness as a gift. They see it as an opportunity. They take your vulnerability and use it as a map to your weak points. They learn what hurts you and then they use that knowledge when it serves them. They take your generosity and treat it as something they are entitled to, rather than something they were honored to receive. And slowly, piece by piece, they drain you. This is why your standard exists. This is why that invisible filter inside you is so important. It is not about keeping people out. It is about making sure that the people who come in are worthy of what they are going to receive. Because what you give in love is extraordinary. Your depth of feeling, your loyalty, your willingness to see someone not just as they are, but as they could be. Those are gifts that most people spend their entire lives searching for, and you hand them over freely to the people you trust. So the question is not whether you should give those gifts. The question is whether the person receiving them has earned the right to hold them. And that is where the guilt comes in, because society has taught you that protecting yourself is the same as being selfish. It is not. Selfishness is taking more than you give. Protection is making sure that what you give goes to someone who will cherish it. Those are opposite things. But the world has blurred the line between them, and Aquarius often pays the price for that confusion. You have probably been called cold when you pulled back from someone who was draining you. You have probably been called heartless when you set a boundary that someone did not like. You have probably been told that you are too guarded, too distant, too hard to reach. But the people who say those things are revealing something about themselves, not about you. They are telling you that they wanted access to your energy without having to earn it. And your refusal to grant that access made them uncomfortable. That discomfort is their problem, not yours. From this day forward, I want you to release the guilt. I want you to understand that every time you protect your energy, you are honoring yourself. You are saying that your peace matters. You are saying that your emotional health is not negotiable. You are saying that love is not about sacrifice. It is about mutual respect. And the right person will never make you feel guilty for having boundaries. The right person will see your boundaries and respect them. They will see your standard and rise to meet it. They will see your depth and feel honored to be invited in, rather than resentful that the door was not already wide open. That person exists, and your standard is the thing that will help you recognize them when they arrive. But there is a specific pattern that Aquarius falls into when they start doubting their own protection, and that is what we need to address right now. Tip 4. The pattern of over-explaining yourself to people who do not want to understand is one of the most exhausting traps an Aquarius can fall into. Here is something that happens to Aquarius more often than it should. You set a boundary. You make a decision about who gets access to your time and your heart. And then, instead of simply standing in that decision, you feel the need to explain it. You write the long message. You have the 3-hour conversation. You lay out your reasoning point by point, trying to help the other person understand why you did what you did. And at the end of all that explaining, they still do not get it. They still look at you with confusion or frustration or hurt, and you walk away feeling more drained than you were before you started. This is the over-explaining trap, and it is one of the biggest energy leaks in your emotional life. Let me tell you why it happens. Aquarius is a deeply intellectual sign. You process the world through understanding. When something makes sense to you, you assume it can make sense to everyone else if you just find the right words. So when someone questions your boundary or challenges your standard, your first instinct is to teach, to explain, to help them see what you see. But here is the painful truth. Some people do not want to understand. They do not want your explanation because they are not confused. They understand exactly what you are saying. They simply do not like it. And no amount of explaining will change that, because the problem was never comprehension. The problem was that your boundary interfered with what they wanted from you. When you over-explain to someone who does not want to understand, you are giving them more of your energy after they have already proven they do not deserve it. You are opening yourself up to more debate, more pushback, more emotional labor. And worst of all, you are unconsciously telling yourself that your boundaries need justification, that they are not valid unless someone else approves of them. But your boundaries do not need anyone's approval. They do not need to be understood to be respected. They do not need to be agreed with to be honored. A boundary is not a negotiation. It is a statement. I will accept this. I will not accept that. End of conversation. The most powerful thing an Aquarius can learn in love is the art of the short answer. No, that does not work for me. I am not comfortable with that. I have made my decision. No explanation. No justification. No 3-page essay about your feelings. Just a clear, calm statement of where you stand. And then silence. That silence will feel uncomfortable at first. You will feel the urge to fill it. You will worry that the other person thinks you are being unreasonable. You will want to soften the edges, add a disclaimer. Make sure they know you are not trying to be difficult. But resist that urge. Because the silence after a boundary is where your power lives. It is where you prove to yourself and to the world that your standard does not require external validation. The right people in your life will hear your short answer and respect it. They will not need an essay. They will not need a debate. They will hear your no and they will honor it because they understand that your boundaries are not obstacles to love. They are the foundation of it. And once you stop over-explaining, something remarkable happens. You suddenly have all this energy that you used to spend justifying yourself. And that energy can be redirected into the things that actually matter. Building the life you want, nurturing the connections that feed your soul, and becoming the person who is fully ready for the love that your standard has been protecting you for. And there is a very specific reason why this matters even more right now, which brings us to the next truth you need to hear. Tip 5. Your intuition has been trying to tell you something about a specific situation in your life, and it is time to stop pretending you do not hear it. I am going to speak directly to something that I believe you already know but have been avoiding. There is a situation in your life right now. It might be a relationship, it might be a dynamic with someone you care about, it might be a pattern you keep repeating, and your intuition has been whispering about it for a while. Maybe weeks, maybe months, maybe longer. You have heard the whisper. You have felt the discomfort. You have noticed the small moments where something feels off, where the energy shifts, where the words do not match the actions. And instead of honoring that signal, you have been doing what Aquarius often does. You have been analyzing it. You have been looking at it from every angle, trying to find a logical explanation that lets you keep things the way they are. You have been giving the other person the benefit of the doubt over and over again, even when the evidence suggests they have not earned it. And I understand why you do this, because your mind is brilliant, and your mind can construct a reasonable explanation for almost anything. You can rationalize behavior that your heart already knows is unacceptable. You can intellectualize a dynamic that your gut already knows is unhealthy. You can think your way around the truth until the truth becomes so distorted that you barely recognize it anymore. But your intuition does not lie. Your mind can be tricked, your emotions can be manipulated, but your intuition, that deep knowing that lives beneath thought and feeling, that is the purest signal you will ever receive. And right now, that signal is asking you to pay attention. I am not going to tell you what to do about the situation because you already know. The answer has been inside you this whole time. What I am going to tell you is that you have permission to trust it. You have permission to act on what you feel even if you cannot fully explain it yet. You have permission to make a decision based on energy and instinct rather than evidence and logic. Because sometimes the evidence will never be enough. Sometimes you will never catch the lie. Sometimes you will never have the proof that your rational mind demands. But the feeling will always be there. Steady, persistent, unignorable. That feeling is your standard speaking. It is the deepest part of you saying this is not right for me, and I deserve better. And when you finally honor that feeling, when you finally stop arguing with your own intuition and start listening to it, you will feel a relief so profound that it will change the way you approach every relationship for the rest of your life. The people who are meant to stay in your life will not trigger that alarm. The love that is meant for you will not require you to constantly override your own instincts. When it is right, your intuition will go quiet. Not because it stopped working, but because there is nothing to warn you about. That silence is the sound of alignment, and that is what you are moving toward. But to get there, you need to stop negotiating with the signals you are receiving right now. Stop rationalizing. Stop making excuses for behavior that your body has already rejected. Trust the standard. It has never been wrong about the things that truly matter. And the next truth is going to show you exactly how this connects to the love that is on its way to you. Tip 6. The love you are waiting for is not going to look like what you expect. It is going to feel like something you have never experienced before. And that is exactly how you will know it is real. One of the most fascinating things about Aquarius and love is that you carry a very detailed picture in your mind of what the right relationship should look like. You have thought about it. You have imagined the conversations, the dynamics, the way it would feel to finally be with someone who understands you. And because your mind is so vivid and so thorough, that picture has become remarkably specific over time. But here is the thing about that picture. It was created by the version of you that existed before the experiences that shaped you. It was built from movies and stories and observations and early relationships that taught you what love could be. And while there is nothing wrong with having a vision, the danger is when that vision becomes so rigid that you miss the real thing when it shows up wearing a different costume. The love that is meant for Aquarius almost never arrives in the package you expected. It does not follow the script you wrote in your head. It shows up in unexpected moments, through unexpected people, in unexpected ways. And the first instinct for many Aquarius souls is to dismiss it because it does not match the picture. This is where your standard needs to evolve from a filter into a feeling. Instead of measuring potential partners against a mental checklist, you need to start measuring them against the way they make you feel. Do you feel safe with this person? Do you feel seen? Do you feel like you can be your full, unedited self without performing or pretending? Do you feel like your energy is being replenished rather than depleted after spending time with them? Those feelings are worth more than any checklist could ever be. Because the checklist is built from your mind, but the feelings come from your soul. And your soul knows things that your mind has not figured out yet. I have seen Aquarius souls walk right past their perfect match because that person did not look the way they expected. They were too quiet or too loud or too different or too similar. The surface details did not line up with the vision, so the Aquarius dismissed them before giving the connection a real chance. And then they went back to waiting for the person who matched the picture, not realizing that the picture itself was the obstacle. This does not mean you should lower your standard. Never lower your standard, but it does mean you should soften the specifics. Keep the core requirements: respect, honesty, emotional maturity, genuine kindness, shared values. Those are non-negotiable, but let go of the surface details. Let go of the image you have been carrying. Let the right person surprise you. Let them show up in a way you did not anticipate. Let the universe be more creative than your imagination. Because when the right love arrives, it will not feel like a checkbox being ticked. It will feel like a deep exhale. It will feel like coming home to a place you have never been before. It will feel both completely new and strangely familiar at the same time. And in that moment, you will understand why nothing else ever worked. You will understand why every relationship that fell short had to fall short. Not because something was wrong with you, but because something better was waiting. And your standard, that beautiful, misunderstood, often criticized standard, was the thing that kept you moving toward it all along. But you need to be ready to receive it when it comes, and that requires something very specific from you that most Aquarius souls overlook, which is exactly what we are going to explore next. Tip 7. You have to stop punishing new people for old wounds. The wall between your past and your future is one you built, and you are the only one who can take it down. This might be the most uncomfortable truth in this entire message, but it needs to be said. There is a difference between having a standard and having a wall. And sometimes, Aquarius, what you call protection is actually punishment directed at someone who did nothing wrong. Let me explain. When you have been hurt deeply in the past, and you have been hurt deeply, your mind creates associations. It links certain behaviors, certain phrases, certain dynamics to the pain you experienced. And from that point forward, anyone who triggers one of those associations gets treated with suspicion, even if they have given you no reason to be suspicious. This is not your fault. This is what the brain does. It learns from pain and it tries to prevent that pain from happening again. But the problem is that this system is not precise. It does not distinguish between someone who is actually going to hurt you and someone who simply reminded you of someone who did. It sounds the alarm for both, and your response is the same. Pull back, shut down, protect at all costs. And the person standing in front of you, the one who showed up with genuine intentions and an open heart, suddenly finds themselves locked out. Not because of anything they did, but because of what someone else did before them. This is the wall, and it is built from bricks of old pain cemented together by fear. And while it kept you safe during the seasons when you needed it most, it is now keeping out the very love you have been waiting for. Taking down this wall does not mean becoming naive. It does not mean forgetting the lessons you learned. It does not mean trusting blindly or throwing your boundaries away. It means learning to evaluate each new person on their own merits, separate from the ghosts of your past. It means giving someone the chance to prove who they are before you decide you already know. It means being brave enough to be vulnerable again, even though vulnerability is where all your deepest wounds were created. And I know that is terrifying. I know that every part of you resists that idea, because the last time you were vulnerable, someone took advantage of it. The last time you let your guard down, you got hurt. And your entire system is screaming at you to never let that happen again. But here is what your system does not understand. The pain you experienced was not caused by vulnerability. It was caused by giving your vulnerability to the wrong person. Vulnerability itself is not the enemy. Misplaced vulnerability is. And your standard, your beautiful, refined, battle-tested standard, is the thing that will help you place your vulnerability wisely. It is the thing that will tell you this person has earned it and this person has not. You do not need the wall anymore. You have something better. You have discernment. You have experience. You have a standard that has been sharpened by every lesson you have ever learned. Trust that. Trust your ability to choose wisely. And when someone new shows up in your life, give them a fair chance. Watch them. Listen to them. Feel their energy. Let your standard do its work. But do not punish them for crimes they did not commit. Do not make them pay for someone else's mistakes. Because the love you are waiting for cannot reach you through a wall. It can only reach you through an open door that is guarded by wisdom rather than fear. And there is a crucial distinction here that will help you understand exactly how to keep that door open without leaving yourself exposed, and that is coming right now. Tip 8. The way you communicate your needs determines whether love grows or dies. And Aquarius, you have been speaking the wrong language in your relationships for far too long. Here is something that does not get talked about enough when it comes to Aquarius and love. You are one of the most articulate signs when it comes to ideas, concepts, and abstract thought. You can discuss philosophy for hours. You can debate the complexities of the human experience with elegance and precision. You can explain how the world works in ways that make other people stop and think. But when it comes to expressing your own emotional needs in a relationship, you go silent. Not because you do not know what you need. You know exactly what you need. You have thought about it extensively. You have analyzed it from every angle. You probably have an entire internal document outlining your emotional requirements, but translating that internal document into spoken words that another human being can understand and respond to. That is where Aquarius struggles. And this struggle has cost you more than you realize. Because when you do not communicate your needs, two things happen. First, the other person has no idea what you want, so they cannot give it to you. They are not mind readers, no matter how deeply connected you feel. They cannot respond to needs they do not know exist. And when those needs go unmet, you start to feel invisible. You start to feel like they do not care. You start to feel like you are alone in the relationship even though you are technically together. Second, and this is the more damaging part, when you do not speak your needs and those needs go unmet for long enough, you eventually explode. All the things you should have said in small, manageable conversations come pouring out in one overwhelming flood. And the other person, who had no idea anything was wrong, is suddenly drowning in months of accumulated frustration. And from their perspective, it came out of nowhere. They did not see the buildup. They did not have the chance to correct course. And now they are dealing with the full weight of everything all at once, which feels unfair to them, even though from your perspective you have been suffering in silence for months. This pattern, the silence, the buildup, the explosion, is one of the most destructive cycles in Aquarius relationships, and it is entirely preventable. The solution is not complicated, but it is uncomfortable. You have to learn to speak your needs in real time. Not after you have had 3 weeks to analyze them. Not after you have written 4 journal entries about them. Not after the feeling has become so overwhelming that it erupts on its own. In real time, when something bothers you, say it. When you need something you are not getting, ask for it. When a dynamic feels off, name it. Use simple words. Do not overthink the phrasing. Do not worry about whether it sounds perfectly articulated. Just say the true thing. I felt hurt when you did that. I need more quality time together. I do not feel prioritized right now. Those sentences are simple. They are direct. And they give the other person something they can actually work with. The right person will not be scared away by your honesty. The right person will lean in when you share your needs. They will ask questions. They will try to understand. They will adjust their behavior because making you feel loved matters to them. And the person who cannot handle your honest communication, the person who shuts down or gets defensive or makes you feel needy for having needs at all, that person is showing you exactly who they are. Believe them. Your standard will tell you the difference. But it can only do its job if you give it information to work with, and that information comes from honest, timely, vulnerable communication. But now there is something even deeper that connects all of this together, and what I am about to share will shift your entire perspective. Some people watch, others transform. If you want to be in the second group, the 21-day guide in the pinned comment gives you a clear step-by-step process aligned with your sign. This isn't about waiting, it's about moving. Tip 9. Forgiveness is not about the other person. It is about freeing yourself from a weight that your heart was never meant to carry. I want to talk about something that Aquarius often resists, and I understand why. Forgiveness feels like surrender. It feels like telling the person who hurt you that what they did was acceptable. It feels like erasing the lesson and opening yourself up to be hurt the same way again. And for a sign that values justice and fairness as deeply as you do, that idea is almost physically repulsive. But I need you to hear this clearly. Forgiveness is not what you think it is. Forgiveness is not saying what you did was okay. Forgiveness is not inviting that person back into your life. Forgiveness is not forgetting the lesson or lowering your guard. Forgiveness is putting down the rock. Imagine you are carrying a heavy stone in your hands. That stone is the anger, the resentment, the bitterness, the replayed conversations, the imagined confrontations, the weight of what happened. You have been carrying it for a long time. And at some point, carrying it became so normal that you forgot it was optional. But it is optional. You can put it down. Putting it down does not change what happened. It does not erase the past. It does not let the other person off the hook. It simply frees your hands. And when your hands are free, you can reach for other things. Better things. Things that bring you joy instead of pain. Things that build your future instead of anchoring you to your past. Aquarius carries resentment differently than other signs. You do not always express it outwardly. You do not always rage or cry or make a scene. Instead, you intellectualize it. You build a case against the person in your mind, gathering evidence, organizing exhibits, preparing your closing argument for a trial that will never happen. And that case file stays open indefinitely, taking up space in your mental and emotional hard drive, slowing everything else down. Every new relationship you enter gets filtered through that open case file. Every new person gets measured against the defendant. And the standards you set, which should be based on what you want, end up being based on what you fear. That is the subtle corruption that unforgiven pain creates. It turns your standard from a compass into a shield, and shields keep everything out. The bad and the good. So how do you forgive when the pain was real and the damage was genuine, and the person never even acknowledged what they did? You forgive by making a decision, not an emotional decision because the emotions may never fully cooperate, but a deliberate, conscious, rational decision that you are done carrying this weight. You decide that the person who hurt you does not deserve any more of your time, your energy, or your mental real estate. You decide that the best revenge is not anger. It is freedom. You decide that the space currently occupied by resentment could be better used for hope, for anticipation, for the quiet excitement of knowing that something beautiful is on its way. That decision may need to be made more than once. Some days the rock will feel lighter and you will put it down easily. Other days it will feel impossibly heavy, and you will pick it back up without even realizing it. That is normal. Forgiveness is not a one-time event. It is a practice. It is something you choose again and again until the choosing becomes effortless. And when you finally reach that point, when the weight is truly gone and your hands are truly free, you will feel a lightness that changes everything. Your relationships will shift. Your energy will shift. Your entire way of moving through the world will shift. Because you are no longer dragging the past behind you. You are walking forward with nothing holding you back. And the love that has been waiting for you, the love that your standard has been protecting you for, will finally have room to arrive. But there is one more thing that ties all of this together, and it might be the most important thing I share with you today. Tip 10. The greatest act of love you will ever perform is choosing yourself, fully, unapologetically, and without needing anyone else's permission to do so. Everything we have talked about today comes back to this single truth. Your standard, your boundaries, your intuition, your willingness to wait, your refusal to settle. All of it is an expression of one fundamental choice. The choice to love yourself first. And I know that phrase gets thrown around so casually that it has almost lost its meaning. Self-love has become a trendy concept, something people put on social media posts and coffee mugs without really understanding what it requires. But for Aquarius, self-love is not a trend. It is a survival strategy. It is the foundation upon which every other meaningful relationship in your life will be built. Because here is the mathematical truth of love that no one wants to talk about. You cannot give what you do not have. You cannot offer someone genuine, deep, unconditional love if you do not first have that love for yourself. You can try. You can perform the actions. You can say the words. But without the foundation of self-love, everything you build will be unstable. It will be dependent on the other person's response. It will rise and fall based on whether they validate you, approve of you, make you feel worthy. And that is not love. That is dependency. And dependency disguised as love is one of the most painful things a human being can experience. So what does it actually look like for an Aquarius to choose themselves? It looks like saying no to the relationship that drains you, even though you are afraid of being alone. It looks like walking away from the person who makes you feel small, even though you still have feelings for them. It looks like setting a boundary that you know will upset someone, and doing it anyway because your peace matters more than their comfort. It looks like spending a quiet evening with yourself and not feeling guilty about it. It looks like pursuing your own interests, your own growth, your own happiness without waiting for a partner to do it with. It looks like looking in the mirror and deciding that the person staring back is enough. Not perfect, not finished, not without flaws, but enough. Worthy of love, worthy of respect, worthy of the same devotion that you so freely give to everyone else. Choosing yourself is not selfish. It is the prerequisite for every healthy relationship you will ever have. Because when you choose yourself first, you stop entering relationships from a place of need and you start entering them from a place of fullness. You do not need someone to complete you. You are already complete. You are looking for someone to complement you, to walk beside you, to add their light to yours without dimming either flame. That is the kind of love that Aquarius was designed for. Not the desperate, clinging, I need you to make me whole kind of love, but the expansive, spacious, two whole people choosing each other every day kind of love. And the only way to attract that kind of love is to be that kind of person. Full, grounded, certain of your own value, unwilling to negotiate on the things that matter most. That is what your standard has been building you toward all along. Not perfection, not isolation, not impossible expectations, but wholeness. The wholeness that says I am ready to share my life with someone because my life is already beautiful on its own. And from that place of wholeness, love does not feel like a risk. It feels like an adventure. It feels like an expansion of something that was already wonderful. It feels like the next chapter of a story that was already worth reading. But now gets even better because someone truly extraordinary has stepped into the pages beside you. And that moment is coming. Your standard guarantees it. Aquarius, if you have stayed with me through every word of this message, I want you to know something that I do not say lightly. You are one of the most extraordinary hearts in the entire world. And the fact that you are still open to love after everything you have been through is a testament to a strength that most people will never understand. Your standard is not a flaw. It is your greatest asset. It is the thing that has kept you from settling for a love that would have slowly erased who you are. It is the thing that has kept your heart intact when the world kept trying to break it. It is the thing that will eventually lead you to the kind of connection that other people dream about but never find. Because you refuse to accept anything less. And that refusal, that quiet, stubborn, beautiful refusal, is the most powerful act of self-love you could ever perform. The road has not always been easy. There have been nights that felt endless. There have been moments where you wondered if your heart would ever find its match. There have been seasons where the waiting felt like punishment rather than preparation. But every single one of those moments was building something inside you. Something unshakable. Something luminous. Something that the right person will recognize the instant they see it. You are not too much. You are not too complicated. You are not too guarded or too independent or too difficult to love. You are exactly what the right person has been searching for. And when they find you, when your paths finally cross and your energies finally align, everything that came before will make sense. Every closed door, every failed connection, every moment of doubt, it was all leading here, to this version of you, the version that knows their worth, the version that trusts their standard, the version that refuses to shrink for anyone. That is the version that love has been waiting for. And love is patient, but it is also getting closer every single day. Trust that. Trust yourself. Trust the standard that protects your heart. It has never failed you, and it is not going to start now. You have two options after this video. Close it and hope things shift, or decide that the next 21 days will be different. If you choose the second, the structured 21-day transformation aligned with your sign is waiting in the pinned comment. The energy is already moving, the only question is whether you are.